Morning, everyone, and thank you, Osama. Um, we've been associated with the Manthan Awards for, 3 years now, I think. And it's a fairly in-depth involvement because it's not what people in my business call a media partnership. It's more a strategic partnership. One of my senior editors sits through the entire process of screening the nominations, deciding who's going to win. We actually review and report on a lot of the people who enter their names for these awards. I think from next year, if I can recommend, one of the changes I would recommend is that the prefix E probably should be dropped from all the categories, e-education, e-infrastructure and everything, because I think by now technology has become so much part of our lives that it is redundant to refer to something as e-commerce or e-infrastructure or e-education or anything of that sort. The Manthan Award is important simply because technology has got great transformational power, as we all know. Through the 80s and through the 90s, we saw the power of this in turning companies around and in making them exceedingly profitable. The last economic boom, and at a time like this it seems presumptuous to talk about economic booms, but there was an economic boom in the 90s and in part of the 2000s. And this period of growth was largely on the back of productivity gains that were achieved because of technology. I think what has happened now is the benefits of this technology are filtering down to areas which are not strictly associated with commerce and with commercial motivations. And here, I think it's very important to realize that most issues that affect people, especially people who don't have access to markets, access to education, really have to do with their lack of information, really have to do with their inability to communicate, really have to do with the inability of people who want to reach out to these people, probably with healthcare, probably with educational inputs, to reach out to them. And technology is changing that. I was discussing the Manthan Awards with one of my colleagues who was on the jury, and we thought it might be a good idea to go back and look at some of the early winners. And so I told him some of those early winners might not be around. Because it happens with everything. There are digital companies that get started today and 2 months down the line, or not 2 months down the line, but 2 years down the line, they're no longer there. And to which his answer was, how does it matter? And which is particularly true, because I think what happens is, even if a small non-profit organization were to work in a remote corner and expose people in that corner to the benefits of what technology can do, you've sort of whetted their appetite, you've sort of made them more aspirational, you've showed them what technology can do for them, and I'm sure, someone will step in and do something far more sustainable. And that really is the best thing about the Manthan Award, because it's not about the means, it's not about technology, it's not about what technology can do, it's about the benefit it has on the end user, and that really has got nothing to do with technology. That works in what we like to call the real world or the core sector, because it works in areas like health, infrastructure, education, empowerment, and that is really the kind of sustainable effort that eventually will make everything far more inclusive. It will make growth more inclusive, it will make the sharing of profits from growth much more inclusive. And it's a good initiative. I wish there were more initiatives of this sort. I'm happy to note that the participation has been increasing over a period of time. And all the best to Osama. I just hope DEF goes from strength to strength. Thank you very much.